Hey guys, Jamal Stone here with Couch TV. We are here at the Inside 3D Printing Conference and Expo to show you the latest technology in 3D printing.
Here we have remarkable advances in 3D printing. With remarkable technology now possessing the capability to print everything from beating heart cells to full-size car components.
We're going to be talking to the people behind the technology of 3D printing. We're going to discover why and what they've created and exactly what they may have in store for us in the future.
Hello, welcome to Couch TV. I'm your host, Megan Lee, here at the White Clouds booth with CEO of White Clouds,
Jerry Ropalato.
Hello, Jerry. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I see you have so much amazing, beautiful products produced by White Clouds. Tell us a little bit of the products that White Clouds produce.
So White Clouds is a service bureau. So we actually make objects, and that can come from a file that someone has uploaded to us, or we can actually do the design work and then 3D print it out and end up with a finished product.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. So tell us, how are some of these products made? I know they're made from the ground up, but give us a little bit about the process.
So first of all of our products are 3D printed, just layer by layer. We, depending on what we're trying to accomplish, there's literally hundreds of different materials that we can use to build a product. So in our architectural models, if we want lots of colors, we'll use one particular printer to accomplish that. If it's something that's done in monochrome, we might use a different printer. And so we do a lot of architectural models, a lot in the entertainment. We do a lot of rapid prototyping, parts for manufacturers, things of that nature. So really anything you can think of in your imagination, we can 3D print it.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So I know you said some of the fields that they use your models is architects and also entertainment. Is there other different types of fields that you can use your product?
You know, it's almost like, you know, anything you can think of. So we have clients that will, for example, build a bronze model of a bronze statue, and they'll actually use 3D printing to build some of the molds to help speed up the process and actually be able to print those bronze statues and figurines, things of that nature.
Thank you, Jerry. And can you tell me where can we find you, some more of your work?
Go out to whiteclouds.com. We've literally got thousands of pages of content and products and examples of the work that we've done. So it's a great site to go out and learn more about 3D printing.
We're here with 3D Heights, and I'm speaking here with Eric. Now, he's going to be basically explaining a lot about how these 3D printing projects work. Now, explain about this machine.
This machine is pretty much what it's doing. It's melting the plastic, and then we tell the machine what parameters to go to. So, for example, we'll go ahead and we'll download the 3D mesh into the machine through a USB drive or wirelessly, and then the machine melts the plastic and then does the shape layer by layer.
Okay, so basically it builds a lot of the sculptures from the bottom all the way up.
From the bottom up, that's correct.
Now, is this something that's really easy for like a beginner, or are you marketing more to professionals?
This is a really easy machine to use. This is probably the easiest machine to use out of most machines that are out there. It's done by 3D Systems. It's a Cube 2nd generation, and it's really plug and play. You take it home, you get it out of the box, you set up the cartridges, which is like a slip-on, and then after you load the filament into that, you just pick the file that you want to print, and that's it.
Okay, now when it comes to using the software to create your designs, do you have to use what's sort of set up for you? Can you use other images? Can you create things from scratch?
Well, that's the beauty of it. There's a lot of CAD programs out there that are open source you can find online. And you can use those kinds of software to, if not manipulate an already existing model or create it from scratch. There's also different techniques that are available online for 3D modeling that are pretty much free, and anybody can use it. So.
Okay, so what has been your favorite creation?
Favorite creation, I have a couple projects. I've been working on a Green Lantern mask for a Halloween costume party that we're planning on doing this year. So I already started, I took a couple scans of my face. I went ahead and created the mesh from my face, so whenever I put it on there, it's going to fit to my exact dimensions. So that's also very cool stuff that you can do with this machine, or the kind of technology that these 3D print shows are showing, that you can pretty much custom make anything to whatever you want, and then the sky's the limit.
Wow, so basically from kids using this to cosplayers to an actual professional.
Yeah.
Now, where exactly can we find 3D Heights?
3D Heights is located off of the A train. You get off on 168, walk up a couple blocks to 173rd Avenue and Broadway. Really easy to find. It's right next to Columbus Presbyterian, if you know where that is. You just walk up up north a couple blocks and right there.
Okay, that's it. That's us with 3D Heights, and I expect to find you guys there.
I am here with Jan Ferrin at his amazing liquid metal car. Jan, tell us, what kind of car is this?
It's a Ford Torino, 1971.
How long did this process take?
Well, it took me a couple of months to finish it, but then you know you have to add a little bit more here and there, maintain, so it's kind of a work in progress. I mean, you still have to keep an eye on it.
The first time I heard about liquid metal, guys, was Terminator 2, the T-1000. Can you see the T-1000 like driving around in your car, Jan?
I guess. I mean,
what inspired you to make something like this? Like, why did you want your artwork shown in this way of a car? Why did you pick a car?
well, because car, it's a ready-made object that everybody has and relates to. So I was just thinking, people will. Because with abstract art, people said, I don't understand. But now the art, it's on the car. People understand the car, and they start questioning and understanding art too. So sometimes art doesn't have, it's not a functional stuff. But now it's a car that's functional, and art is not functional. So they're combined together.
That's great. You got to make something different, right? You got to make people excited, and you got to make something unique, and you have here. So aside from the car guys, we have a liquid metal house that Jan has made back here. Tell us about this process.
Well, the house came from Illinois, from Chicago, on the open semi-truck, flatbed trailer. So it was based on a different artist project, but anyway, it has windows on the sides. It's on both sides like this, 3D printed. And we'll have rooms. They are work in progress, but we'll have furniture, like everything, the same liquid metal printed stuff. And I already made a washing and dryer, so covered. So it's pretty cool.
Covered in liquid metal?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Like the car, so that's...
Where can we find your work? Are you online? Do you have a website?
Yes,
can we go to?
I have a www.floreaart.com.
Could you spell it out for us?
FLOREAART.com.
There you go, guys. Go to his website. Check out some of this really cool liquid metal stuff. I've never seen anything like it. If you guys have seen the movie Drive Angry, this is what Nicolas Cage should have been driving. He should have been driving this in that movie, because this is amazing.
We're with 3D Systems, and I am talking here with Liz. They have many, many great 3D printing machines, but the one that caught my eye is the one for 3D printing food. Hi, how are you today?
Good, how are you? Thanks.
Okay, now can you tell me a little bit more about the machine, the name of the machine, and how it really works?
Absolutely. So this is the ChefJet. This is 3D Systems food printer, as you mentioned. It's the first 3D printer that's kitchen ready and certified for food. So it can print in a variety of different confectionery recipes, including milk chocolate, sugar that melts really well in drinks, candy in a bunch of different flavors, and frosting-like recipes. So you can make everything from custom candies, custom sugar cubes, to really intricate sculptural cake toppers, and anything in between.
So now when it comes to the recipes, is it a strict recipe setting when you're working with the machine, or?
So we'll offer a variety of recipes that have been developed specifically for the machine so that the prints are really consistent and the user experience is really positive. But we're developing those recipes all the time, so we want to offer a bunch of different flavors and textures so that pastry chefs and bakers and restaurants can offer the flavor profiles that they're interested in.
I have to admit, this is really thinking outside the box, and it looks absolutely delicious. Now, if we wanted to purchase this, is it something that we can go to a retail store? We have to go to a website?
So the Chef Jet will be available in the second half of this year, and you can get all kinds of information at 3dsystems.com, and you can sign up to receive updates about the release.
That sounds absolutely fantastic. So right now, do you mind if we try it?
Absolutely, go for it. These are sour apple flavored candies, and these are milk chocolate.
I think I'm gonna go for the sour apple.
Yeah, that's my favorite.